Okay. And where are we? We're here. I'm going to clean up the camera for the first moment here. I should have, okay, I got volume. Clean it up that way I don't have to do it in a rush later and risk dropping it. Not something I'm into. Even though I'm trying to get a different camera, I still don't want to drop the one that I paid money for. It takes good pictures. I just want to get something a little different, slightly different form factor, different manufacturer. It's okay. Alright, let's move on. We don't have a lot of time. What we do have is this. Sorry about that. I mean to yank on you. Jerk you around too much. We've got the spur gear. Perfect. We got that, and we have the car. Let's go here. Alright, we can kind of get in there. I mean, that's an above. Sadly, I don't have a wire or enough time to do the live stream today, but we're going to do it Monday and make it fun. A live stream of the car running. I don't know if I want to run from a GoPro or from the main camera, because you get different fields of view going from an FPV camera versus a GoPro. But what we do have is time to put this gear in. So let's get a couple of these things out of the way, and hopefully we'll be able to test it. I just need to watch the time because we don't have very much time. Go ahead and unmount the gearbox here. There are a few screws there. Come here, kitty. We'll swap it around. I think I might actually dig out the body that goes over this too. That may give me some more mounting options. Maybe I can potentially put just a GoPro on to record if I'm not going to stream from it. And then have the FPV camera on there also. And it just looks cooler. It looks more like a car when it has a body on it. I think we need to tear these two out of the bottom. Fairly confident. And our gearbox. Is it going to come out of there in one piece? I forget which way it hooked in. I know we took those out, and I tore this thing way beyond what I needed to. We don't have the wishbones in. I need to get them out too. That's the other thing. I think it's an angle upwards. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so you angle it up over this metal arm and pull it out, and that works out. Okay. Now we can tear into the gearbox. Where are the dog bones? I know I put them up, I just don't know where. Let's think about this for a moment. Did I put them with the controller? No. Are they in here with the drone controller? No, they're not in there either. Okay. There they be. Alright, we've got our parts. They were with the camera. So all in all, not a failure. Well, at least, hopefully, get to test it out today. With that, you know, with any luck, we'll get to test it out today. Get back there. And we've got to go over the few screws that we did have out of this thing also. To make sure they're tightened down. At least anything with the suspension and the drivetrain here. The body I'm not too worried about, but we'll check them provided we have time. So 1, 2, I think 3 screws if I remember correctly. Come out of this motor. And then it just literally, the cap should come off, correct? 1, 2, 3, that's all I'm seeing. There we go. Oh, wow. I don't think that came apart to that extent last time. I think this piece, maybe it did. Maybe I'm imagining things. That would go there, correct? And sits in between. Oh, guess what, people? We've got to get the bearings out, because I don't believe the bearings come in the new spur gear. So that's what we're going to do. Work on popping those little bearings out, and then this. Okay, that's better. Another way is directional. However, that bearing, it sets in. Okay. Another thing that I do not have is grease. So we're literally going to go for done. Oh, that's really nice to have all those teeth there versus, and I'm going to stop going forward and then kicking in and reverse to slide it. I think I'm primarily going to drive this one instead of just tear the teeth off. I may order another one of these or see if I can find one, because I can count the teeth on this. See if I can find one the same size in metal. That would be nice. It would probably shred the rest of it though, to be honest. So, like I said, I'm not heavy into RC, but I do enjoy. Okay, one out. Let's put it in. How hard is this going to be? What up, man? Live streaming the RC repair, getting ready to head out. Yeah.
Coming up from work, wondering if we can snag a smoke clean.
Yeah, I have some. Alright. Smooth flat surface wheel. You can use it to press it in. We're not talking like a ball joint or the spindle on your car where you got to put a wheel bearing and press it in with a press. We do not need a hydraulic press for acetate plastic gear. I would think not anyhow. Maybe they make little hand presses that you can crank down and pop these bearings in, but that's getting a little on the ridiculous side. Where is it? And bearings are in if this thing focuses, which it never does. Alright, we're going to call it good. Bearings in, you can see. It's different than this one, in a sense. Let's go there. Alright. Can't wait, this is going to be fun. All I have to do is work out the range of my mic from the transmitter and get the logistics on that all worked out, and then I will be able to do the live stream of this car riding around. Look at that. Doesn't seize up, doesn't stop, just goes. Last time with the missing teeth, it would wind around partway and stop. I can understand why the car would not drive. A little dirt. I don't think I'm going to clean all that out. We may tear it down and re-grease everything at some point, but being I don't have the grease, we're going to go for drivable. Come on, screw. It's always a battle. That's another thing, man. Some of this RC stuff, if anybody sees this now, the future, let me know. Did they make like little, like a little motor mount where I can mount? I don't think they do it quite like real cars, huh? Do you, Tim?
What's that?
Do you think they do it like real cars? Like a little engine mount, so I can mount this stuff up and little, yeah, press for pressing bearings in, little hand press.
Oh, like you can do hamster. Hamsters fix cars, RC cars.
Right.
Big on like the hamsters cooking tiny food, you know.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'll train a cat. Get a cat in here working on the car. That'd be great. I don't think my cat would be into it. It's kind of lazy. Alright, so what's that? We got one done. The only thing we need to do, and we're going to test right now, is for these both to drive forward, we need to see which way our engine is spinning. So we're going to take and mount this in and mount one wheel. To see, we'll power it up real quick. This is going to be as simple as possible. Just to make sure that, you know what, don't have to, we'll do it after the fact. We can always go in and do it later with the, which way the engine spins. It's just a little harder to get in here. Well, I was thinking now. What time is it? Anyhow, 4:28. Yeah, we're still in rush mode, so let's get these up out of the way. Get our third brushless wire. Okay, we've got one in. And two in. Let's get these mounted and put the rest of it together. That's an important screw. We need that one. Alright, the subframe in, engine, motor, whatever you want to call it. Get back up here. Alright, that's lined up and tightened down. Two, three. Let's go for the last one here. Alright. The only thing when putting, I call them dog bones, it's what they look like. It's your axles. When putting them back in, you really only have a slot on each end to line up, and then everything will go together and should be alright from there on out. Just screw your control arms. I don't know what these would even be called, being that they don't, all they do is control the up and down for the suspension, not really the steering. Like the front control arms for the steering and the servo. A little bit rough on this side. Can probably use some grease on it. Alright, done. We have to put the top on. However, that's a whole nother project. Let's look at it quick. 4 screws should get it back to normal. 4, let me think about this, 5, 6, and I think it's back normal. We'll go for it. Get that out of the way. That has to come out there, and that unmounts off the engine. So that just went from what, 6 to 8. Okay. 6 screws to 8 screws. 32 up against the clock here. And if I'm not mistaken, did those go under or over? You know what, we're going to test it and then tuck these in out of the way. That one's kind of tight, so that tells me that was the one that had more slack, because they were all up away from the control arm originally. We will feed, no, because they're all the same. And that gets us the most room. That would be next, and then the shortest run. Alright, away from the control arm there. Let's go. The antenna comes out there. Actually, I don't think that. Yeah, no, they can't. They had to. Yep, they came up out. So we're gonna have to finagle these around afterward. What fun this is gonna be. I had them directed, I believe, up around this way. Oh, I should look at the pictures, really. It's been a while since I've had to do a tear down and rebuild on this. That's where I think they originally went, was there? I'm not sure. But, oh, I see. Yeah, we're a little short on the one, so. They're just going to actually go where I had them. And if they're in the way, we'll move them later. I just don't know how I had these through here without anything rubbing originally. Unless it was tucked. Tucked I could understand, but this I don't. Unless, yeah, okay, that's how it was. The frame was bent a little bit. So let's put these back screws in to hold this in place. And go for nightmare. That's one. 2 will be here. Anywhere but in the frame. Anywhere but in the frame. That's going in. Wires down. And that should hit the actual mount that's on the transmission drive case. Gearbox is, I guess, a more accurate term. And finally, this side, we're going to flip it over quick. Oh, wait, do we have to? Yeah, we've got to get the bottom side. That's done. The antenna will work out later. We've got 2 here, and then the 4 there, and we'll throw a battery in this quick and test the forward and reverse aspect of it driving. This around, time is it? 37. We're running the clock out, people. Are we going to make it for this one? Let's find out. One and 2. And if it's not right, we'll have to flip them wires around, but that's going to happen Monday, not today. There it is, right there. Alright, time of truth as far as this thing driving is concerned. How bad is it? Does forward make it go in reverse, or vice versa? Let's find out. Alright. We're going to go with the little battery just because that'll make it easier. We've got that thing. Oh, yeah, pop the pin out. Duh. Don't fall a nick off the cliff, boys and girls. It is not wise advice. Find your own path off the cliff.
As long as you get off that cliff, that's all.
That's the point here. That's what counts. That's what people are going to be worried about in the long run. For some reason, I can never plug these batteries in that way. I have to go opposite-handed. I don't know what the deal is. It's the no, I know what the deal is exactly. It's the Dean's connector, and it's utter hatred for me. I'm going to stop using Dean's connectors. Alright. Battery will fake go in for the moment. I can't actually sink it in there. You got to tuck the wires in for this one. It's kind of a nightmare. That, and then the balance leads in the way. So let's pretend we'll put them up there, up there, up there. Oh yeah. I wonder how bad this is gonna burn me. DT Computers. Hello? I can barely hear you. Hello? Do you have the volume down on your phone? I can't hardly hear anything. that can't be helped. They gotta turn their volume up. I'm sorry. Alright, let's go for on. Dude, it was coming through as like this little bit of static. Like I couldn't hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright. So it is backwards. What do we do in that case? We don't have much time, but what we're gonna do is try like crazy to flip 2 of these wires. That's all it needs flipped. I think if we're gonna do it, we gotta go for the longest 2 and not play around with the short one. I think the short one is the only one we're actually gonna get our hands on. Alright, so we gotta flip that one. And that one. Alright, let's not laugh at me right at the end of the day. Alright, that's gotta go there. Crisscross them. And we'll see if we get our forward back, which we should. That's how brushless motors work. Last time I checked, which was a couple years ago. Forward should be forward. And forward is indeed forward. So when you pull back on the trigger, that will make it go forward. And our reverse is working too. So again, this is the front of the car. When we pull back on the trigger, it will go forward. So success. Monday, as long as I can get far enough away from the mic to be able to see this thing, we're going to do some FPV driving live stream. So look forward to that Monday. That being said, have a good afternoon, a good evening, good morning. It's one of those times wherever you are. I thank you for watching.
What if you're on Pluto?
Tuning in, getting your hands dirty. They're having some time of day out there. As always, and I will see you Monday. Tune in Sunday. And a Social Experience podcast. That is always a good thing. Not always a good thing. Sometimes there's downers, but we generally try to keep it so we don't leave people with, a suicidal thought in their head.
Try.
Try. We don't always succeed, man. Try. Yeah, anybody that doesn't know, that is the other co-host. Just stopped by here for a few, so look forward to seeing us again Sunday. And that being said, have a good weekend.